Birth by Sleep came out in 2010 and everyone was like, the game is met with positive reviews, but also with a lot of raised eyebrows, since people were convinced the teaser for this game was for Kingdom Hearts 3, since it was cool and mysterious and at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 with a lot of dirt so you know it was real. Anyway, lo and behold, it was just Square Enix up to their normal bullcrap again, because Birth by Sleep actually turned out to be a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PSP of all things, and people weren't particularly happy about this at first, and it made the quote-unquote Kingdom Hearts official canon even more confusing, since incredibly crucial installments to the series had already been put on the Game Boy, high school smart boards, those refrigerators with touchscreens, you know the ones I'm talking about, McDonald's kids toys, a single swallow with an iPhone strapped to their head, and the Nintendo DS. So putting yet another game on a random system of the day just added more speed to the endless Kingdom Hearts pain train. It's almost like they're doing this on purpose. Of course, even though this game was on the PSP, it didn't stop Birth by Sleep from being one of the best Kingdom Hearts game around, mainly because of its innovative and satisfying gameplay and its gut-punching story, featuring the greatest character to ever touch this garbage plan mess of a series and who I love very much, and it gave me hope in my life again, because they're just so selfless and brave and beautiful. Yes, you know the one, guys. Terra, who did nothing wrong. And for the record, guys, I am going to be talking about Birth by Sleep Final Mix from the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD collection, now available on PlayStation 3 and eventually PS4, because it is the most recent and relevant version. And because my big-ass man hands can actually play this one without getting carpal tunnel, because holy crap, that thing is tiny. But anyway, if you're new to this game for some reason, here are a bunch of tips, tricks, and heads up for people who don't know about this game. So you play as these three nerds, a group of aspiring Keyblade masters under the care and training of their attractive mentor, Master Ericus. 10 years before the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, featuring Banana Shoes McGee, you are quickly introduced to Terra, a tall, handsome, young, power-hungry dude who totally doesn't have the hots for darkness and might be a little problematic later. Aqua, a perceptive, brave young woman who I would totally murder someone for. And Ven, a kind-hearted, oblivious narcoleptic who starts the game off in a coma, featuring totally not the bad guy, Master Xehanort. Seriously, no one picks up on this, it's kinda concerning. But after Aqua and Terra are tested to become Keyblade Masters, Ericus tells the two that the worlds around them are under attack by dark creatures called the Unverse, and he sends them off to investigate. But Ven, completely not aware of what's going on at all during every second of every hour of every day, is told by a mysterious masked boy that Terra is in trouble, so Ven sets off on his own journey to follow Terra in hopes to help in some way, shape, or form, but not really. Doesn't really explain what kind of trouble he's in, you know, he just goes for, okay, you know, whatever, you just have to deal with it. But the three Keyblade wielders set off on their journey to stop and find the source of the Unverse, while still keeping hope in their hearts to fend off the darkness and whatever Master Xehanort is planning with his spooky, young, hot, rude, dark apprentice.
That really all you got?
Gosh, what is up this guy's butt? Holy crap, why is he mean? But along the way, you'll meet oversized Barbie, foreshadowing, sleepy, grumpy, and the one we don't talk about, obese lizard staring at the sky for no reason, not Roxas, totally for realsies, I promise, awkward dialogue, dirt, spandex, Sass Masters and the whole fabulous crew, indecent exposure, brain damage. No, seriously, I know it's confusing, guys, but it's totally not Roxas. If you play the other games, just deal with it. It's gonna be explained. It's not Roxas, I swear. These buns, if you know what I mean. Captain, just suck my big fat ass. An actual talking trash can. Balls, squids in space, starburst in every flavor, my precious baby boy who I love very much, weird inner monologues, and lots and lots and lots of keys in all the right holes. So yes, Birth by Sleep is the prequel to Kingdom Hearts 1, but unlike every Kingdom Hearts game with its totally perfect story that doesn't make me suicidal, you really don't need to know the other games in the series to get into this one. However, I highly recommend knowing the series in advance, since Birth by Sleep assumes you do know the other games, preferably these ones in this order just to help you out, because they really don't explain why you beat people up with a giant key or why Mickey Mouse is suddenly edgy and ready to kill, but most of the emotional moments and references rely on your feels and knowledge from the previous titles, so it's just best you know stuff before jumping in for maximum crying. Birth by Sleep is also a pivotal part of the Kingdom Hearts story and introduces tons of plot elements that affect essentially all of the other games, so it's best you pay attention to what's going on, even if all this stuff seems like total gibberish. Now that stuff aside, since you play as three characters in this, they each have their own unique perspective on the story while they're out there and about hanging out with Disney characters, fighting darkness, solving problems, making ice cream, and beating up Peter Pan, and Is that fruit? But yeah, in order to understand the whole plot of Birth by Sleep, you gotta beat each character's story so things don't feel like it's missing huge chunks, and to explain why Tara isn't just a sack of bricks with a dumb haircut, and why Ven will literally die if he isn't loved enough. So if things feel like they aren't making total sense at first, it's probably because they are answered somewhere in another character's story. And while you can play each character's story in any order you want, don't do whatever you want and play in this order for the most cohesive experience, okay? So do that, and have fun pulling out your hair and drowning in your own tears. Oh god, this game hurts. Okay, now like I said, you're gonna be playing as Rocky, Blueberry, and Jesse McCartney. Now, they each have their own story where different things happen and whatnot, but after a fun little tutorial under the stars, you'll be able to pick your character of choice and play their story from start to finish. And if you want to jump into a new character, you gotta start a new game and pick it all over again. But just a reminder once again, play in this order! I don't want to hear any lip about it, guys. I don't care if you want to play as your favorite waifu first, just do it for story's sake, God! Now, even though you play as different peeps and you come across and experience different things, the overall structure of your adventure into despair and sadness is essentially the same for each character. Similar to other Kingdom Hearts games, you'll have a series of worlds to explore that gradually unlock as you complete whatever the heck you need to do there. You got worlds like Snow White, Disney Town, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Lilo and Stitch, but just like the first 15 minutes of the movie, you know, only the space stuff, the cool stuff. Now, once you're beamed up into a world, your objective becomes pretty clear, either through the story with NPCs talking in dialogue boxes, or this little objective bar that shows up 24/7 telling you everything that you need to know always. Okay, hold on, what? But each world offers something different and have unique features, so stay on your tippy toes and be sure to pay attention to the bar of wisdom at all times. But more or less you'll be doing the same things, like killing all the unversed in the area, escorting the slowest person alive, collecting items, triggering traumatic flashbacks, fighting more dudes, going from point A to B to
Somebody tell me how I got so
and then finishing off the world by slam jamming a Disney's character's face into the curb or fighting possessed demon unverse who just need a good beating. You know, just Disney stuff. But after all the mandatory stuff is complete in a world, it's big, boom, blinding, flash, and bam, you move on to the next one. And they do make it painfully obvious where you're supposed to go next.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Now in worlds, you do have the freedom to explore and do what you want, but Birth by Sleep's worlds, 1, are just a series of big interconnected rooms, 2, they don't have that many extras or things to interact with, and 3, are bare as crap.
The guests were just starting to enjoy themselves.
Oh, this is awkward. They couldn't put NPCs on the PSP, could they? So since you're not going to be overwhelmed with stuff, it's best to be thorough when you are in the world, since most of the things you can explore can be found your first time through, no problem. And even though you'll be visiting the same worlds in each story, certain characters only have access to certain parts of the world, so things stay fresh and interesting, and you don't feel like you're just revisiting the same crap over and over and over and over again. So if your character won't let you enter a certain place, it's probably because you ain't supposed to go through there, so stop ramming yourself up into a visible wall, guys. Turn around, for God's sake! Now, what worlds you decide to visit when is up to you, but I recommend just going by what the recommended level says when hovering over a world so you don't jump straight into an anime meat grinder.
Having got a lot, I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a bar. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Seriously though, if you feel like you aren't doing so hot, you can always just revisit past worlds at any time for items, leveling, giving Snow White's hair a good sniff, or just taking a nice stroll in the park to sit back, relax, and reflect on your life choices. Dear Diary. Okay, so the design of Birth by Sleep is pretty basic and devoid of all life, but the real meat of the game is in its combat. Now, Kingdom Hearts being a JRPG and all, your skills are, once again, based off of stats and abilities, and you get stronger, sexier, and sleeker as you defeat enemies. It's an anime game, guys. They gotta make it complicated with the numbers and all. This stuff is the law. But yes, Birth by Sleep is very much combat focused, and to water it down, it's as simple as hit the thing until it dies and then explodes into little goodies, you know, just like in real life. But to break everything down, you have a base attack that's just good old-fashioned keyblade swing, and you can use this forever technically, but the fancy stuff revolves around the command deck, which is a series of special moves / magics and items that you can equip to smack the living crap out of enemies, but like with a lot of sparkles and love. Now, you can only have a limited amount of commands equipped on you at a time, and they do have cooldowns, so you can't just spam the same stuff endlessly, as cool as that would be, but there are a ton of commands, and you can equip whatever the hecky you want. You got dashes, magic, flips, whatever the hecky this thing is, spins, really big magic, things that halt time and space, stuns, burst moves, and attacks that just blow stuff up. Now, customizing your command deck is all up to you. Do you want a good variety of magic and melee, or to load up on stuff that just takes out groups of dudes, or nothing but the confetti command? I don't know, it's kind of fun. But it's best to always try out new commands and switch out old stuff with better stuff, since you're constantly getting new moves. Of course, think carefully, because what command you use in combat will affect what command style you enter once this bar is filled up after hitting the dudes. And command styles are the bee's knees. Oh, she's so pretty. Basically, they cover you in glitter and give you a big damage buff while changing your basic attack pattern for a limited time. They cool, they useful, they flashy, they kinda broken, and it's why you need to think about what you put in your command deck. See where I'm going with this, guys? So, say you use a thunder command and you want to give the enemy a little zap zap. Well, once the bar is filled up, you will most likely go into thunder surge mode, where you can just spam lightning hits, and then at the end of the mode, you'll be able to light up the whole area and fry everything within a 5-mile radius. Now, there are lots of style commands, some based off of elements and some based off of melee stuff, but you got ones like this, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. But these things are a lifesaver, so be sure to bring the pain when you are in them. Seriously though, guys, these things will rip through people. It's kind of nuts. Like, holy crap, I am actually on fire! Another thing that's kind of beyond useful are the shot locks, which is literally a button you hold down, you spin around until you lock onto a bunch of people, hit the buttons it tells you, and then everything dies. Shot locks are the most powerful thing in the game, and while you need to have a certain amount of focus for them to be effective, use them as much as possible, since you are invincible when using them, and again, guys, everything dies! Now, you can unlock new types of shot locks throughout the game, but more or less they kind of do the same thing, so pick your faves and then stick with it. And personally, just saying, the ones where you zip across the rooms are pretty cool. I recommend those. They're fun. And last but not least, we have the D-links, aka the dimensional links, or the diarrhea links. Okay, look, I'm only talking about these things out of obligation, but the D-links give you the commands of characters and let you do some neato stuff depending on which one you use. But you really don't need them, and real talk, it's just faster to clear out rooms with normal attacks, but give them a try. You never know what you might like. I mean, you get help from Pete. You know, that's kind of cool. You know, you got some other ones. Okay, like, seriously, who uses these? Honestly, I know like maybe 2 people. And if you are one of those people, leave a comment, that's great. But I guarantee you you're lying, because I don't use them. I don't know anyone who else who uses them. The load times are god-awful. Who has time for this garbage? Seriously, just use magnet. Holy God, they suck. Okay, there, I said it. Why are you in this game? Okay, so commands are pretty necessary to vaporize everything, but they affect more than just the combat. Listen, you're gonna get a lot of commands, and I mean a lot. Now, in order to get better commands, you can either find them, buy them, seduce the right person for them, unlock them, or meld them, you know, just like how Grandma used to make them. Oh, I can still smell them. Those are the good old days. Oh God, Grandma's dead! Now, melding commands is what it sounds like. You just take 2 leveled up commands, smash them together, add some magic hoodoo voodoo sparkle sparkle crap, and then bam, you got yourself a stronger one. Of course, the catch is when melding, you have to add an item to the fusion, and that will cause a passive ability to be attached to the new command. And in order to gain that ability, you need to level up the command by using it in combat. Are you guys sticking with me? I know this is a lot, but are you writing it down? Because it's going to be on the test. Now, the abilities you gain from melding and leveling up commands is super important, since they are the things that make you stronger and can make the difference between life and death. So it's important to meld with purpose, and real talk, doing it willy-nilly can only get you so far. There are a ton of recipes and you'll need them, so links below to get the abilities and commands that really matter. Now, you might be wondering, hey Buns, what are your favorite commands? How do you play this game since you're so flawless and majestic and perfect at Kingdom Hearts, obviously? Well, you guys, everyone is going to be taking a liking to different commands, and you can do what you want, but these are the ones that are total must-haves. The following segment is commands you should totally maybe kinda have if you value your life and don't want to suffer through this whole game, because some commands are complete poo-poo garbage. Brought to you by Buns. I like to think I'm good at this game, but someone is gonna say otherwise. So once you have all 8 command slots unlocked, always have at least 2 heal commands, cause dying is a bad thing, a magic that makes you enter the command style you like, magnet to deal with lots of enemies and if you like to party, and any type of mind command since I'm lazy, and to top it all off, the best and most perfect commands: fire and Thunder Surge, because yes. Now, combat commands are the most important thing in the game, yeah, but you also get agility commands that give you new movements like rolls, counter blocks, or zipping around in your giant parachute pants. You can also meld these abilities, and it's important to switch out stuff for better movements, since not getting hit to not die is a thing, so get to know and use these, since they are way more helpful than you think. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that this is a JRPG, and when you kill stuff you gain experience, which makes you level up over time. So if you're feeling kinda squishy and the licorice body jerk jumpsuit dude is giving you a hard time. So you can always just take the time to kill enemies, level up stats, get better commands, meld whatever the heck you need, and then come back and show the big dingus what's good. You are hot, but I hate you, holy crap! So honestly, if you get the combat of Birth by Sleep down, the game is a total cakewalk with a dash of anime bullcrap, but there are tiny things that can make a difference if you care. The first being consumable items. Now you'll have a ton of items that you can buy, unlock, mix, bake, saute, flambe, and all that jazz, but they give you an extra edge in combat. Like commands, they take up a slot in your command deck, and most of the items just give you back health and other stats if you don't feel like using cure like a normal person and enjoy drowning yourself in potions, you freak. But besides being a potion alcoholic, there are also ice creams. Now, ice creams are totally optional, but when exploring and fighting around the world, you might come across these little plum-shaped unverse that drop ingredients every time you hit them. Kinda weird how much stuff is squeezed in that little body, but they're fully loaded, so go ahead and smack the living crap out of them before they disappear. But if you have the right ingredients, you can make special items at the shop in Disney Town with the demonic creepy duck triplets, and the ice creams help raise your odds of activating certain command styles. So if you like diamond dust like me, you'll get really into shoving nothing but fudge pops right up your butt. Again, these are completely optional, but they can be useful depending on what you prefer. But seriously, shove all the ice cream up your butt. Now, you should know that you don't get any accessories in this game. No fancy gear, no pimpin' outfits, no rocket boots or tutus, as cool as that would be. All you get is Aqua's short shorts, Terra's accordion pants, and Ven's 8 billion layered shirt that I could get lost in for days. Literally, the entire game revolves around commands, so you don't have to worry about equipment, except your keyblades. Now, you do get new keyblades as you progress through the game, and they each have different stats and specific little abilities, and some of them are kinda ugly, but none of that really matters. Just switch them out when you get new ones, which is always. Seriously, don't forget to switch them out. This is your general PSA to just go for the new and improved model always. Yes, please do. Always remember, just do the thing. I forget all the time and it always messes me up. Just go for the better one, so just switch them out for God's sake. Now that's what I'm talking about! So, each character story is roughly about 15 hours long if you just blow through the main story and don't ask any questions like a good boy. But if you want to stretch out the playtime of Birth by Sleep and complete a thing called the Trinity Archives, then there are a ton of extras just waiting around the corner. Also, some of them might really kill you, so that's fun. But before we start talking about death and suffering and pain, let's talk about the happy stuff. So you got your normal mini games and collectibles like stickers, which are just hanging around the worlds that you can collect and arrange in Jiminy's journal for points so that you can unlock powerful commands. So that's a thing you can do, and it's pretty fun if you like putting stickers on things and being 4 years old. And then there's stuff around the worlds that you can do, such as Aqua's Vegan Ball, Terra's Drag Race, and DJ Ven's Wet n Wild Experience, which are mini games that you can return to after beating them in the main story, either for the points or just for the lulz if you're feeling it. There are also these unverse symbols hanging out in certain areas that you can engage with to do unique challenges, so those are a thing if you want to strap on your big boy pants and prove yourself to absolutely no one. Of course, the most fun, useful, and vibrant extra in the game is Mario Party Disney Anime Monstrosity Edition featuring Pooh Bear Out for Blood. So the command board is an alternative way to casually level up and gain new commands, board game style, and I won't go into the details of it since the game explains the rules pretty well, but to just break down the basics of it, you just set the money that you need to reach to end the game, and then you get as much money as possible and kill anybody who gets in your way. Now, you unlock more boards as you go through the game, and the thing can get pretty tense, but again, totally optional. You can go through the whole game without touching this thing technically, but if you do end up playing it, you play to win. You play for me. You play for honor, because I am not going to lose to a diabetic, mentally challenged bear! Of course, if you want a real challenge to test out your fancy sparkle skills, the Mirage Arena is where it's at. So the Mirage Arena is a place to fight optional bosses, take out waves of enemies, do more speed racing, and command board extreme! So basically, it's just a hub to do extra hard challenges in to get abilities and medals, which you can spend at the Kupu place so you can get the things that really matter. Look at that. I spent time on this. I spent time getting this piece of crap. So worth it. But the Mirage Arena can be some pretty high level stuff, so it's best to come prepared and be ready to panic. God, please don't hurt me! Now, if you care about the story, which you should, Birth by Sleep has some of the best secret bosses, endings, and sections, but in order to access them with ease, you need to collect all of the Xehanort reports and beat all 3 character story on the Proud difficulty or higher. Technically, you can unlock this stuff through standard mode, but that requires a lot of bullcrap, and I got stuff to do, so just bite the bullet and get goodish. Now, once you have the extras unlocked, if you're going for the long haul and want to take out the real tough extra bosses, don't use Terra. Look, I'm not dissing the perfect buff boy in his stupid pants here, but because of his move style and his crap block, he just isn't ideal for extra hard bosses. Just invest most of your efforts into Ven or Aqua because they have way better mobility than everyone's favorite whale on roller skates. Now, seriously, while they can be kinda tough to unlock, the post-game extras are worth the pain, and the difficulty is nothing you can't grind out, so man up, start leveling, and go out there and get overwhelmed by the emotional ending that is Birth by Sleep, which has a really, really impactful story that'll just get to you, and oh my god. Oh god. Oh, this is this is not acting. Oh my god, I'm actually crying. What is wrong with me? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's hot in this room. Ah, this ending's good, guys. Just beat the game. Okay, so here are a bunch of tips and things you should know before you get started. So reaction commands are still kind of a thing in this game. You know, it's like a poor man's QuickTime event, so just pay attention to the buttons it tells you and then do the thing. It's not that hard. Make sure to save often since there is no autosave, and make sure to have separate saves for each character's playthrough, because if you overwrite those, you're not getting it back. Use your block, guys, because timing is everything, and so is not dying. So yeah, use your block. Real talk, you're gonna be grinding in this game, so it's just best to stock up on random commands and then just meld things to get tons of abilities faster. So just take the time to kill some dudes and have fun. Remember guys, if you die, retry means you do the fight over again, no questions asked, but continue puts you back into the room you entered before jumping into the fight. Don't make my mistake. Don't use cure commands when you're going up against the optional Oreo Licorice Jerkwad. Use potion commands instead and then scream because you're probably gonna die anyway. Take the time to get the ability XP Walker. Look it up, meld it. It's literally just free experience. It's perfect for lazy people. All you gotta do is walk around. Ta-da! I know I kinda crapped on D-Links, but they do restore all of your health when you use them, so if you're desperate, use them as a backup last resort heal. If you are playing on Proud mode, you do need to complete the sticker album in order to unlock the super secret passage. You know, the sad one that they added in this version. The command board is a great way to unlock some early game shot locks and commands, so it's worth looking into. Every now and then there might be a sequence in space where you use your Keyblade hoverboard. Just attack everything that moves, don't forget to dodge, and let loose. As cool as they might seem, I don't recommend melding and equipping the elemental dodges because they don't give you invincibility frames, and that's a real quick way to getting killed real fast. Of course, with that being said though, the normal dodge rolls and cartwheels are broken as hell, so use them as much as possible to not die and to get around town like a complete idiot faster. Y'all thought. So, while Birth by Sleep really wasn't the game people wanted it to be at first, since we've been thirsty for Kingdom Hearts 3 for over 10 years, Birth by Sleep did turn out to be one of the greatest additions to the series and somehow managed to stay its own contained story, and my, what a story it was. But on top of that, Birth by Sleep did redesign the franchise's combat and set the stage for the future of the series, so even in the darkest of times, the particle effects and the bright, flashy animations will always reign true. And Aqua's perfect face. God bless. And the fact that Birth by Sleep has now been ported to HD makes this game a total must-play for any Kingdom Hearts fan, even if they are 90 years old by now. But I hope this Basics Beginner's Guide makes your gaming experience a little better, so please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Okay, so normally there is like some pre-recorded ending for this thing, but you know, I decided to change it up for this one. You know, yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing my squeaky voice tell you about all my social media. But seriously, y'all should go follow me on all my social medias. I got a Twitter, I got a Twitch, I got a Tumblr, I got a Patreon, you know, support me on Patreon so you can get like perks and stuff. I don't know, that's a thing you can do. Twitch is fun, we have a lot of fun over there. Links below for everything. I really need to re-record this ending, don't I? Oh my god. Anyway, this episode's Patreon shoutout goes to Endurance. Thank you so much for your support, and don't forget to let your heart always be your guiding key, or something like that. I don't know what they're saying now in Kingdom Hearts. Ooh, this series is something else. If you want to support me on Patreon and have access to special perks and whatnot, hit the links down below. It really, really does help me out. So do the things. Follow all the social medias, and, I don't know, get out of here. God, shoo, get it. I don't know. The video's done. Bye. Get out. Bye.